New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. And hello again, dear ones. Reverend Robert with you here on the 21st of June, 2021, summer solstice, longest day of the year. And I come to you this evening with a heavy, heavy heart. If you haven't heard yet, and you're watching this broadcast, there's another incident of gun violence. This time it's about 1.5 miles from where I'm sitting right now. Happened outside the library where my kids go, and a police officer lost his life in the street right in front of a restaurant that I go to with numerous friends. And we don't know what's going on and what happened and why, and we're probably not going to, because the man that got all this moving is one of the 3 people dead. Another person is only been described that I've been able to see as a Samaritan. Don't know exactly what that means. I'm not going to make any speculations. But here's what I know. I know that in this philosophy, we teach the power of an affirmative spiritual mind treatment. Okay, I get the affirmative part. I think you do too. We tend on the positive side of life. We look for the positive. We look for the good. This is one of those places where it's not so easy to look for the good. Or it's a lot harder to see it if there's good in here somewhere. And if we're going to believe in that and trust in that, it's going to be a while before we see the good that comes from something as horrific as this. This could have been a lot different. And we don't know what. We might never know the motive or what. But what I know is the power of prayer in our organization. It puts me in that place of saying, I don't know. And I'm not going to try and make this a spin and try and say this is all good. 3 people lost their lives 1.5 miles from my home today. And I don't know if I know any of them or not. I may or I may not. I don't know. But I know they were part of the one. I know they were part of what this whole thing is on planet Earth. And I know that leads me to a place where I'm going to use tonight's treatment, tonight's prayer, to change my thinking, my personal thinking about this experience. Because that is all I can really do. Now, if you want to take some of those words on, and you want to agree with some of what I say, and if you'd like to listen and hear my words as if they are your own, if you can hear my words this evening in your own voice, right on. And the very teaching of this philosophy is that I do my own work in my own consciousness, and I trust that that drop is a drop in the ocean that is now cleaner and clearer and has a better vision of where we're going. And and that is a healing. So if you're with me and you're willing to, in a safe place, ready to close your eyes, please join me in a place of knowing that there is truly only one power, presence, and intelligence that's operating through and as all aspects of life, this life, my life, the lives that chose to move into another dimension of livingness this day, or maybe didn't choose to move into that dimension, but moved into that dimension anyway. No one wakes up knowing that that's their day. So while my heart is heavy and I feel the pain, the suffering, the weight of what's going on in the world around me, I have to remind myself, I have to come back to the deeper truth that there is only God, and that God, that oneness, is moving and breathing and having its being as my life in perfect and magnificent ways. To bring myself back to the remembrance that even when I can't see it, even when I don't know what's going on, I'm called to a deeper sense of faith, a deeper sense in the trust in the things unseen, knowing that even in the chaos, even in the horror of it, there is an unfolding of something that's happening. So I cannot see the good in this now, but I trust there's something that emerges, some law, some regulation, some awakening in human consciousness that says this is enough. Enough is enough. This is the time. This is the day. We stand in honor and respect of those that went on this day to say enough to gun-based violence, enough to gun violence, enough to the easy access of guns and the proliferation of personal and private weaponry in this country. Enough to unregistered private carry laws in Texas, and enough to all of the unregulated guns on the streets. I claim a healing in consciousness. I claim a deep sense of compassion for the families that have been impacted by today's events. The husbands, the wives, the children, the partners, the friends, just those of us that live in this community, hammered again and again. Those living in this country, hammered again and again, with the reminder that we had so much healing to do. And the reminder that we must find a way to reach into, and I affirm, this is the truth I am affirming this day. This is the truth I am coming to find a way into the communities that have been marginalized, mental health neglected, to find that health and that healing and that support, so that there is no one that feels the answer to their problems is at the end of a gun, is by pulling a trigger. Creating a world where no one feels they need carry a weapon for protection or to be the good guy with a gun. A world where we take care of each other. A world where this consciousness that leads again and again and again. Speak a word of healing, knowing this is possible, knowing not what it is mine to do other than to say enough in any way I can. To call out the politicians and the planners and say, what are we doing here? What are we doing about this? How are we addressing as a community, as a collective consciousness? How are we addressing this growing experience in our lives? And what I know is there is a great healing that is being called for in the American consciousness right now. As this gun violence touches community after community after community after community, how many lives are to be lost? To go beyond, to wake us each, to awaken us as a humanity, as a community, as a society, that now is the time. Enough is enough. I claim we are moving into a new paradigm, a new way of seeing all these intersections, a new way of seeing the myriad weirdnesses and wild and just a lot of life, and come to a deeper sense of faith and trust that there's something that must be happening. So I shall honor those that went beyond this day, and I shall honor those that mourn, and I shall be a voice for change, for love. I sit in this knowing, holding a vision of a world that works for all, holding a vision where the pain is never so great that we answer that pain with a gun. And I claim a healing for humanity. And that is all I have. I invite you to join me in expressing a moment of quick word of gratitude as I release this word into the law that must demonstrate, and I trust has shifted my belief. And so it is. So it is. Thank you for being with me this evening. This is not complete, but it is what it is. If you have a prayer request, please send it to our team, prayer@ntmedia.org. We'll get the whole team praying on it. If you'd like us to mention your prayer request on the broadcast, please do that as well. We'd be happy to. We'd be honored to do that for you. May the stain of gun-based violence not touch your community. I love you. Peace and blessings. Stay safe. Stay happy. We'll get through this too. I love you. Bye now.